10 seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Dire team ban. Dire team pick.
Gyrocopter!
Radiant team pick.
Oracle.
Radiant team pick.
Vengeful spirit.
Dire team pick.
All right. Hello and welcome back. We have returned now
Dire team ban.
to the world of Dota 2. It's gonna be London Conspiracy up against Elements Pro Gaming, and I'm not gonna be alone. I'm gonna be joined here by Scant. Are you there?
Yep, I'm here.
All right.
10
You
seconds
excited?
remaining.
Okay, we got some good stuff here.
Yeah, I'm pretty excited. I'm trying to think where I saw elements. It's actually so difficult to keep track now because, like, every CIS team is like one or comes second in something in the last month or two.
Yeah.
So I'm trying, like, I don't know elements. I think they were runners up in the Moz TV qualifier, which Team Spirit actually won. It was because it was Fantastic 501, the BTS EU. Yeah, they've like all won stuff. I mean, Elements is Illidan's team. I guess that's the way people talk about them. Whereas London Conspiracy came through the open qualifier, and this is the Baby Knight team. I don't know if you you don't go that far back, but do you know Baby Knight's like?
Yeah, I know he's like a
Big deal.
Dota 1 player, right?
Well, he was a
He
Dota
like-
1 player who like a lot of people thought had a lot of potential and never quite really. He was never in a team that really won anything, and then he and then he started playing StarCraft.
Right, and
then he came back to Dota, then he went back to StarCraft, and now he's back to Dota again, and maybe this will be the team. You know, this is a totally different London Conspiracy to the team that like had achievements in the past, because that was like a all Greek team. This is all pretty much Scandinavian. I think they're all Danish and Swedish players. Yeah.
5 seconds remaining.
All right. Oh, and I should check. Is your mic on? I didn't check.
Yeah,
make
my
sure
mic
that's-
is on.
You're a hero.
Open mic.
Oh yeah, just for in-game. Because we are powered by PGL. It's a big shout out to them, by the way, because they're the ones who are bringing us in here.
I
to
love
make sure there's
PGL.
in-game coverage. I love PGL. I mean, who doesn't love PGL? Their coverage.
I gotta be. I don't even know what PGL is.
You know what PGL is. That production studio who did like the hub and stuff. You know.
Oh yeah. Okay.
They're
Sure.
good- it's a good
I
group
love
of
them.
guys here.
They're actually they're my favorite production studio.
Thank you.
That's-
That is the correct answer. Good job.
I recognize some of the other nicknames on London Conspiracy. I haven't watched this team before. I recognize Solon and Kefka from like
Yeah.
way back when actually I played in IHLs. I'm a nobody, but I recognize seeing their names, being like, it's you.
Dire team
Kefka, he played a lot of Lone Druid, hence the ban there. Back in the open qualifier, followed them for a couple games. They knocked out who did they knock out? Cookies? Is that a Stark Gaming or Cookies? I can't quite remember who London. I think London Conspiracy knocked out Cookies,
They knocked
and
out
then
a lot of
course,
people.
and then Power Rangers, of course, in the last one.
Yeah.
Was
And they
the
knocked
big
out
one.
NLG as well, I think, in the
10 seconds
semi-final, which
Oh,
NLG's
yeah,
been
they did.
doing really well. And,
Yeah.
But so for this draft,
5
I mean, there's
seconds
one question
remaining.
for me. It's like, is Shadow Fiend still a good hero? Because it's been picked a lot less in this patch, and I think
Yeah.
there's very obvious reasons why. You know, the jungle's being used by the people. It's not as good to stack and farm the jungle. You maybe don't feel safe in your lane. We don't have supports helping mid at the start as often as we did before. Like, what's your overall, like? Is it still a good hero?
No, I think it's garbage. I'm so surprised every
10
time my team picks it.
seconds
I don't even
remaining.
think about it during the draft. I don't consider it as a mid hero. I don't
5
know. I
seconds
think
remaining.
this happens a lot when a hero gets nerfed that was like really powerful. Like it happened to Lena for a bit after her first
Reserve
nerf. Like she just didn't show up for that long. Even Doom, kind of the same idea. It's like, oh, they're nerfed, they're no good, and then a week later someone picks them and it's okay again. So it might be a situation like that. We'll see.
Yeah, I also feel like the hero itself is still extremely good. It just needs to we need to rework the way we think about playing the lane stage to keep it fitting in the way it did before, because the lane stage isn't working the way Shadow Fiend used to like it. Like supports don't sit around stacking And even if they did, the Shadow Fiend's not gonna be able to farm the camps as early as it could before.
10 seconds
Yeah,
remaining.
of course, those auras, so much fun now. Making your life harder,
5
making the mana
seconds
cost harder.
remaining.
Well, it just it seems like with all the aggressive dual lanes too, maybe he seems to
Reserve
struggle a little bit in
time.
those as well, like Bane Tinies, things like that, and like the Bane Lena in this case. And they're actually gonna get rid of the Abaddon.
Radiant team
So
pick.
that would be pretty bad having both of those together. Oracle
Yep.
plus. So they're guessing core Vengeful Spirit, and they are correct.
Dire
So
team
no surprise there coming up from Elements. Seen them play some pretty aggressive games. A little bit more balanced lineup on London Conspiracy, but definitely a little bit of pushing potential.
Yeah, on the other hand, talk about Shadow Fiend being picked less, there's the Gyrocopter, which has just been like consistently there for like over a year now in every patch. And I was actually looking at the data before this and that data, and I was trying to see like what are the most popularly picked carries. I think Gyrocopter has like almost twice as many picks
10
as any other
seconds
carry in
remaining.
this patch, which is ridiculous. It's like 700 Gyro
5
games,
seconds
and
remaining.
Juggernaut's next at like 350 or something.
Wow. Yeah,
Is-
he
Reserve
he's,
like
he's
there's
a popular fella.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of variety in carries, basically. Like, people haven't figured out what the best carries are, except Gyro, which is like, everyone still likes Gyro. That's no discussion.
Yeah, makes sense. He's just so solid. He gives you that nice little bit of oh, let's see. Oh, good stuff. Good stuff.
10 seconds remaining.
You know, you got a little bit of the magic damage, physical damage, a little bit of both coming out there, but it'll be the Rubik. Seems like a good Rubik game, actually. Oracle, Venge, Clockwork. You know, maybe get lucky and Witch Doctor runs out of mana, you snag that up too.
Yeah, so... Rubik really good against Clockwork. Really, like, ruins Clockwork's defense mechanism. And Clockwork also, just as a hero, it's... I don't know, I haven't actually played it yet, but that recent small patch where they, like, changed the way that the Clock and Tusk and Furon, I think, map the creeps when they're blocking. I feel like that affects the way you play the hero more generally as well, although I haven't tried it myself. I don't know what you think.
The one that I'm not aware of is, does it still work where you know how you can force them into the trees? Does that one still work
10
for
seconds
Clockwork?
remaining.
I don't know, because the change log said that they all work like Fissure, but Fissure's
5
been changed to
seconds
like
remaining.
some creeps go around and some stop. And so I'm like, I'd love to see what actually happens. We'll probably see at the start of this game. It's likely that's how Clock starts the game.
Yeah. Alright, well, everything looking good here. And we'll get started. Oh, did he just drop something? Or was that just a courier? What is it? Wait, where's King Iris? Am I missing something here? Did he forget to buy the ward and he TP'd bottom? Or he's just gonna
Maybe
make
he
sure...
just came to see if they're warding. Yeah.
Yeah, he just immediately came down here.
And he's gonna see the Beastmaster, so that means Beastmaster can't place that ward, I think.
Yeah, that's so funny. It's so often you'll just see them bring the ward, but I suppose they're not too concerned about you know, getting his own little vision. Then again, I mean, at least he's a Beastmaster, so he'll still have an idea of where they will be, but it'll be a little bit harder for them to guarantee kills on him. But it's an Oracle, they should be able to just zone him out
30 seconds to
pretty
battle.
easily. Oh, they're doing the Clockwork thing. I forgot to look. They were in Fountain doing the Cogs thing. I just looked and saw the denies on General. So he's got the 10 Necromastery stacks.
Yeah. That needs to be patched though, right?
I assume.
That's not meant to happen, but maybe that's why I picked Shadow Fiend. Shadow Fiend's still a good hero if you start with all the souls.
I mean, makes sense. Yeah, that's actually so
The
dumb.
battle begins.
Yep. I mean, there used to be people did with Venom wards, but like
Yeah.
then you had to at least like tank a bit with them, deny them. This
Well-
is just like at the fountain, have damage.
Okay, well, we'll see how this is gonna go then. Greasy. I guess we should have realized that during the draft, but from what I understand, the Clockwork Cogs now finally give gold like they were supposed to. I noticed that was mentioned as well. So
I don't
actually-
know.
Apparently, you do get gold, and that's why it's counting as a deny.
Look, Clock found the ward as well.
Oh,
So
nice.
that's one ward down, and Beastmaster's ward. Did they find that as well? Because I don't see one in his inventory anymore.
I wonder if he just... Oh no, yeah, he placed it up here on this cliff and they dewarded it.
Yeah, so both wards gone actually, and I think that's a pretty big deal this early on in the game. Like, you gotta be playing nervous. They can't leave Lena alone, because if she dies once or twice, it's a very big problem for the way the game's meant to flow. Like, Lena's meant to be putting pressure on SF early on. Ben is hanging around, and they are putting the pressure on SF, but just look at the last hits, Shadow being 1 for 12.
Even with this bonus damage, London Conspiracy, they're having none of it. And just gonna keep up the spam.
I'm just like, wow, you denied more creeps than were actually in the map. Well done to you.
It's General, man. He's just that good.
So, how do you feel about Oracle?
Best hero, Dota 2.
Yeah, I have this feeling that like we haven't yet seen a player who's like the god of Oracle, and when that player arrives, it's just gonna become like auto ban or pick, because it's like this hero just does too many things that if someone's like top tier mechanical with it, they'll just like always make the right call at the right time in a fight, and should you be disarming someone or protecting someone from spell damage or what, you know, like there's too many clutch things I could do.
Yeah, it's the same conversation I was having with Ryu, and I've had it with a couple people now. It just seems unbelievable. Like, everything that you get outside this hero, I just cannot see it making through this patch not being top tier in terms of bans and picks every single game.
Yeah, it should get there. Well, there's this trades in the mid lane. Actually, this is a cost. This might be a kill, yeah.
Dead.
That's
First blood.
That's a problem. That is a problem. I mean, I don't know, actually, Beastmaster, Lena, and Jara are all actually heroes. All the cores on the side of London Conspiracy can get value early on and then put pressure based on that value. But I think the Lena would be like one of the three that they expected to get the most guaranteed value, maybe. That's a cog trick at the start, giving that Shadow B in the head start, and look at Baby Knight's last hits. I mean, it's pretty terrible.
And have you no one with?
Yeah. 3 and 3. Still selling just the Null Talisman. Trying to work his way up to a bottle. I mean, while General's always swinging for 88. Oh, actually, he does go down now. They've been trying this a couple times, so in the end, they finally do get it.
Oh, do you think they used the double nuke damage combo party? I think they probably did.
Yeah.
But like flames into Fortune Zen into flames.
Yeah.
Once you get
so
level
good.
3. Yeah.
It's kind of a shock burst value that maybe an offlaner's not suspecting. He's been trading really heavily with them this whole time too, like always using the boar, always keeping up their harass, trying to burn down King Air. Well, Melancholy, that is Yoku as well. For those of you tuning in. And it looks like he won't get himself a rune. Or Yoku. Oh, he gets a Tango. Isn't that sweet? Thanks, man.
It's a little bit, it's like ironic the way things work out, isn't it? I don't know, maybe ironic.
It really is. I think it's well, maybe I don't know what it is either. Maybe melancholic.
Yeah. I mean, he could have just been an Empire all the time. Been playing on the off lane. But yeah, ends up in this team, and I gotta say, it's the scene is so strong right now. It's already telling that but there were 8 teams invited to the main European qualifier, and I think 7 of them were from CIS, or 6 at least.
Yeah, they were a little bit on the outs last year, you know. I don't think a lot of these guys were kind of searching for a home, trying to figure it out, but there's a lot of strong teams coming up from the region now. Oh, Kefka can't quite get the 9 on the board.
Top lane, that's
it's gonna be close. He's taking some of the damage off with the creeps. He's gonna try the cogs play, but all they can do is force them less as I'm harassing the tower. At the same time, they'll get another kill down bot on Kefka. And fight recap, it'll show the one bot again, just double stacking. Actually, it's just a single Purifying Flames required. Plenty of damage from the Vengeful Spirit's right clicks on that minus armor.
I'm not too sure. Who's got the earliest timing in this game? Like, is it getting level 6? Is it Beastmaster getting level 6? In terms of like adjusting the flow of play out of the lane stage.
I guess assuming, is it a mech SF?
He's sending some, yeah, I think it is. I mean,
So like
there's no one else in this team buying mech, and you're going Shadow Fiend Venge, you're probably buying a mech and grouping
Yeah,
up.
so it's probably that then. Just look
Yeah.
towards that and make your way out. Maybe like a little rotation from Yoku won't hurt, but he's pretty far behind,
Dire's
just hitting
middle
4
tower
now.
is under attack.
Denied!
5-minute delay. 5-minute delay is so weird when you're streaming. I'm so used to like this like 10 seconds and just. But now everyone's just like, Cogs? What?
Radiant's top tower is under
It's like,
attack.
alright, they didn't actually get the kill there.
I mean, like metaphysically, it's pretty weird that cogs have souls, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's really bizarre. Think about all the times that he's just been like killing his brethren, Cogs, denying them all the time. I mean, he
Maybe
never
they-
knew. He's probably having a mental breakdown right now, realizing what he's done. That's probably
Maybe they
why he's
like
only
dying.
level 3. Oh, he's 4 now.
Maybe they like Cylons. Have you watched Battlestar Galactica?
Oh yeah, yeah.
So like
Okay.
each cog just like uploads its consciousness into the next cog, and it's totally fine.
I'm glad we figured this out, and now everyone can feel okay about going home and denying their cogs later when they play Clockwork.
Yeah, it's pretty important. Okay, so Lina
Yeah.
level 6 is also potentially big if Bavina manages to get value out of the level 6. But I don't know, it's like, I mean, the same thing we were talking about Shadow Fiend. Lina mid is in a similar position where going back to stacks is really not as effective as it was before. You take a bit longer to farm them, not as dependable. And so you want to get some value in the lane, and you definitely want to make some kills with Lina once you have the ulti online.
You might have to like smoke down bottom, but Keka's only level 3. Kind of in the same situation as Yoku, so it's going to be a little bit difficult to go for like a roar into LSA, into Laguna Blade or something like that. Both offlaners having some trouble here in terms of setting stuff up for their cores. Have a 4 and 3 each.
There's a lot of Conspiracy is so lucky they have Beastmaster actually with that Hawk, because they lost both their wards at the start of the game, and well, actually the Hawk is now being victimized. And will go
340
down.
gold.
I think the Hawk probably has a soul as well. Yeah. That's
This
interesting.
is
Smoke.
pretty early smoke.
Well, they know there's no wards, and they just killed the Hawk, so it's actually like doesn't matter that
Radiant's
they're
top
smoking from
tower
there.
is under attack.
They're gonna
But,
still
like-
stack.
Alright, that's pretty important.
If they manage to wrap around the proper jungle and still let stack 2, that's like Lena's just like out of the game until she makes kills.
Yeah, so clearly this was the plan all along. And they might even get
Radiant's
a.
top tower
Oh,
is
it's their
under
career.
attack.
I was wondering what it was doing over there. Alright,
I think
we're
that
good, we're
Shadowfit
good.
gonna deny his career for souls.
Yeah, pretty much. Nice. Well, Yoku, he's come to the mid like. You can imagine in London Conspiracy, just like, where did they go? Like, what is happening? And there's an Invis rune here now for General. Kefka with the cheeky TP plays down in the trees, escaping back. They're still looking for him over there. Now they'll see him in the wave and be like, you. Oh, you.
Oh, they're looking for swap. Illidan has been looking for swap for a while, and
Radiant's top
Kefka's
tower
managing
is
his
under
position
attack.
correctly to still get some XP occasionally
Radiant's
without getting
structures
caught.
are fortified.
He's pretty tanky too. He's he's got the 5 armor, almost 800 HP. There's a chance there could be a TP save maybe. I don't know. It'll depend here. Looks like Yoku still not
Oh,
level
Illidan's gone
6.
to top.
Yeah, he's getting the swap on the Jellyfeed. Calldown was there though, so plenty of stacks on the screen. They're gonna get that kill. Turning on the Beaver now is Illidan. Trying to get one more right click. He will get it. Thank you, minus armor. But all these creeps, all this rocket barrage, not gonna be enough. And Jellyfeed, he'll have to escape with only the 1 kill. 1 for 1, supports traded. And it comes out just in the favor of the Radiant side there.
I don't know, I like it for the Dire because Beastmaster now gets level 6. Like, it's a big rotation away from that lane.
Yeah, it's true.
If it's any hero but
Oh,
Jara
baby
crops
night, baby
it,
night. 80 HP. Oh, are you gonna come back into this? It's too
Radiant's
risky.
middle tower is under attack.
No, even with Laguna Blade.
You know, I feel if the carry on Line of Conspiracy is anything but Gyrocopter, then the fight goes way worse for them.
Oh
But
yeah.
TPing into that position, the cooldown, the rock barrage, this is like they can actually stand their ground even though you brought in so many heroes.
Yeah, and he's doing really well. Take a look at net worth. He's just above the SF. Got himself the Helm Dominator. And Rubik himself now also up to the Arcanes.
Yeah,
I was-
Oracle's.
I was complaining about this last game. Have you played New Clockwork?
I haven't. No.
It's actually impossible to push people back with the cogs now. It's like the worst thing ever. The range is massive. Oh, looks like they will get screened. Maybe not. This cast, the luckiest bounce of his life. It might not be enough. It's gonna be close. No, almost, just about living. But the dream was dead, and so
Important kill for Baby Knight. So why is it more difficult to? Is that from the very recent change about the part thing, or is that from?
Yeah, it's this. No, it's this whole circular thing.
Oh,
Where
okay.
the circle on the inside, it's huge. Like, I actually lost. I'm not even gonna lie. I literally lost an entire game of Dota. Like, you know how you can play a bad game of Dota sometimes? I actually lost the game for my team. I take full responsibility. I
So
was
you're saying
off
it's-
lane. It was literally me. I was the person holding back your MMR, except it was unranked. So.
So the
choke us.
circle is actually a nerf, you saying? Like
I don't know. I'm sure once you get used to it, maybe it's not. But previously, it was so much easier to guarantee the harass. Like, you didn't have to create so much space, but now, like, you have to create so much space to actually get the mana burn. And if they're anywhere near you, like, I was just trying to mana burn a Face's point. You know, I wanted to win my lane.
Yeah, I've been on the other side of that. So I played a support ogre zoning a clock, and like each time he tried to, I was always inside the cog with him. And I
Yeah,
was like,
I
okay.
could not get it, and I lost. I really lost the game for my
Well,
team.
I just thought the guy was a noob, but maybe he wasn't.
I was like so ready, and I was like, okay, I'm sure I'll find it eventually. I just keep accidentally bringing him inside and dying. I'm sure I'll find it next time. No.
And we haven't
there you
actually, interesting enough, haven't seen that much clockwork. Like the clocks I've seen recently were doing like the ancient pools and stuff, and can't do that anymore. So
Yeah.
I don't know. I guess if it becomes more mainstream, we'll see like how top players cope with that. If it's just about subtle execution.
I'm pretty much guaranteeing next time if I have to play Clockwork, I'm just gonna go back to the phase boots to create more space. It's like my only option, I think, at this point. No more tranquils for me. Too risky against ranged supports.
Well, this is actually a tier 1 going down. That's the completion of the mech for general. And I think this is exactly that timing. I think that Conspiracy maybe not ready to take a full fight. I mean, possibly with all the ultis, to be honest. With the Raw and the Fiend's Grip and the Laguna Blade and the cooldown, they could take that fight. But outside of using all the ultis, fighting up against the 5-man with the mech, with the Vanish swap, it's very, very risky.
Well, Yoku, he's going for the blade mail too. So yeah, this is gonna be really risky. All that AOE coming in from the Lina, coming from the gyrocopter, gonna be very cautious. She's got her Aether Lens now, Aether Lens, I suppose. But so certainly should be useful. Kind of unnerfs the Laguna Blade changes from the Aghanim set.
Yeah. I mean, is this like, I don't know. I guess she casts spells a lot as well, so it's a bit like Zeus in that sense. You get like extra damage, and it's nice that your Dragon Slave just like kills waves.
That's true. I don't even consider the damage, honestly, when I think about that item.
Like she can basically the entire game she can stun the slave down a creep wave when she has Aetherlands, which is a stage where you can't do that if you don't have it.
Right.
But I don't know. My opinion of Aetherlands is that like there's an argument to be made for so many heroes that this is a great item, and a lot of the time it's still not the right item. Like you should be getting your like yeah, for Lina, is it really better than yours? I don't know. You know, we need more time seeing this item to see what the trade-offs are, but I've definitely watched games where people should have bought a Force or a Glimmer on a support and they bought an Aetherlands. On a core, maybe it's more justifiable. Like, and obviously heroes like Zeus, where it's like, you just must buy as well. He's gonna actually get caught by the hook, and
Yeah,
that's a Fiend's Grip.
inside. Looks like, oh, there's gonna be spot to cancel it though, so now Melancholy, Mr. Yoku, will get the Lina. He's trying to survive there, but Jellifi will get the kill long range. TP in the back lines, gonna make it out. Death Ward now goes, but not enough to stop Jellifi, the king. The man now in second on the net worth, and General wants to send him back a little bit further, but oh, maybe, I don't know. Oracle, I know you're pretty OP, but you're not that crazy, so he'll get away.
That's not too bad for London Conspiracy. I mean, again, it's Baby Knight is the one who's suffering and staying quite far behind the Shadow Fiend, now 3k net worth behind. But we did say elements like have a good time if they're grouped up, and so I think it's pretty good for London Conspiracy that they managed to get the best of them there, like make 2 kills out of 1.
Man, Jellifi had the same amount of damage as the entirety of the Radiant in that team fight. Crazy. Gyrocopter so good early on, but the Yashin now fully completed here for General. That's some scary stuff.
I guess the next timing, the timing that comes out of the die is the Necro 3 on Beastmaster, who, despite struggling a lot at the start, it's just like showing why the heroes pickable as an offlaner. You gradually make your way back in. They're gonna get a tower to a pick off or two. Necro 3 will actually be there in probably the next 10 minutes or so.
for kill.
Oh, that blade mail. It's getting there. I feel like it's gonna be a pretty big item because you always talk about like gyro versus blade mail and how that's gonna interact with your BKB and the timing. Now, obviously it's gonna be just blade mail brown boots, so he's not gonna be as tanky as he might want to be. There's no bracer. There's quite nothing else. He didn't even go for the treads. So it'll be about a scratch on Jellyfy when he has his SOI fully completed, but it's still gonna help bring him down, and he's definitely the core target here. 5-0-0.
Yeah, and you see Bane's going for 4-star, and this is exactly like if Bane was going Aether Lens, which a lot of people rave about Aether Lens on Bane, but if Bane was going Aether Lens here and not 4-star, it would be a mistake, I think. Just simple as that. Like you need that force to protect against the clockwork, especially because of what you're talking about. The timing. Jar's not gonna have BKB yet.
Alright, well, they're going to be looking towards the fight here. And they're going to hook shot on top of Jellyfy. He's the main man. So no blade mail when you're nightmared up, though. And especially when you haven't purchased it yet. So we'll grab up that kill. Kill secured, Oracle. His favorite thing to do.
Radiant's middle tower
Even on
is under
creeps.
attack.
I mean,
It's
I don't know if
true.
you've ever been Oracle, just
Even
sitting
deny.
around. Yeah.
You can do anything on that hero, man. Deny creeps, steal creeps,
Radiant's
steal
bottom
kills.
tower is under attack.
He's the one-man machine for everything that you ever need.
Save people, kill people, kill allies, save enemies.
Radiant's
How
bottom
is it even up for
tower is
debate
under
what tier
attack.
this thing is, man? Like, I can't believe when I watch a draft and it gets through. If
I
you're
just
a
think
pro
it's
player,
like-
you gotta learn this thing.
I just think it's actually very difficult in terms of decision making. It's not just mechanics. It's like in the fight there's like 72 different things you could be doing, and like deciding which one to do at which time. If you're using your spells offensively or defensively, I think that's like I don't know how to explain it. It's like it's not that mechanically challenging. It's just like to make those quick decisions is actually very difficult for most players. I think most professional players. In terms of decision making in fights, it's a lot of it's like gut instincts, just from like training themselves to situations.
Yeah,
But
hence why the benefit of playing pubs so much is often talked about. So it makes sense, right? Because being unfamiliar with the hero, you don't want to mess up. You don't want to. It used to be even more confusing, I think, when you had things like, oh, but it's going to increase the physical damage you take, and you had even more options to consider. So they've simplified them down a little bit. But no, I can agree with that. So
he's
once
actually
players
maxing
start
Fortune's
playing
End ahead
really?
of Fate's Edict, which I think that's a bit unusual. I think especially before you get the second Fate's Edict points, it's a bit unusual. I mean, Fortune's End doesn't really scale that well. I guess the cooldown, it's nice to get the cooldown. You don't really care about the damage.
I think the reasoning would be just in a game like this, the disarm doesn't do that much. A lot of, for like the early levels, is going to be all this magic damage coming out from the Lena and from the gyrocopter, and so you're, I mean, I guess then you could argue the other way, because like you're not looking for the disarm, then obviously you're looking for the magic community, so.
Yeah.
Yeah, either way.
And it's also once you put 2 levels in it, then you can get no, actually you need 3, right, to get the double purifying flames. I think
for
2's
the
enough.
heal?
2's enough. 2's enough. Yeah.
Yeah, 2 should be fine. I think we can double check there. Yeah, 3.5 seconds, so that should be okay. Yeah. 2.25 cooldown.
I guess technically 1 is enough, but it's probably really cutting it close with the cast time.
They're gonna smoke up on the enemy side of the map. They were under that ward when they did smoke up though, so Kefka should be fully aware this is happening. And be making his way out. Let's see the wave too, and yeah, no luck here.
And where's the... Yeah, it's Necro 2. He's close to Necro 3. That's like... I really think that's the timing. That's the timing of this game. That's... Necro 3 is going to be introduced, and forget about BKB.
And they just run behind them.
Yeah, you just... I think you need to have a plan to deal with the first time you see an enemy Necro 3, because otherwise you lose a fight, you lose 2 towers, you lose a rush. It can really have a snowbally effect, especially with Beastmaster when you've got those auras and the pigs as well. Like, those pigs are really strong. It's like the Necro aura makes the pig stronger, the Beastmaster makes the Necro stronger. It's like a little family of wildlife.
Oh, there's
They're
a
not
little
what?
pig.
I not call them pigs. Are they?
Boars?
Isn't a boar kind of pig?
Yeah. I mean, they don't look like boars any more than they look like a typical pig anyway. Like, what are these things?
Yeah, in Dota
Terrifying.
they're more like something that would have existed during the dinosaur period. Like the dinosaur era version of a dog, I guess.
Well, it feels like our first like really big 5-on-5 engagement is being headed up here. They have the hawk vision. If we look at the dire side, the hawk sneaking its way here. But they'll just back off.
Necro 3 is coming up soon on Beastmaster. Bane's gonna have 4 stops soon. Lena's got a lot of gold as well, depending on what she wants to go for. And actually, brought out the new arcade boots after the other lens, so maybe you're gonna go for Bloodstone.
Yeah, if you've already got the other lens, it must be something along those lines at the very least. So, I'm looking now. Illidan, he's heading towards, I guess, just BKB this game. Lena, Rubik, Bane. Obviously, Fiend's Grip and Roar will be going through, but it just seems like there's enough control that you can still warrant it, and General seems to have the same idea.
I'm not too sure. It's both these teams playing a bit standoffish. Like, I mean, it's a strange result of actually. We talk so much about how the meta is about team fights. It's about winning fights. It's about like early mid game, and some games as a result of that, teams are just so aware that if we lose a couple of fights in a row, we're in big trouble. So they avoid each other. They dance around each other. But objectives like Roshan kind of force the fight to happen, and that's what's gonna happen here, I think. Or maybe not.
Or we'll get flared and just run away.
Both of these teams know that the other team's like definitely composed to, if they start winning the fights, chase them down and kill all of them. So it's a lot rests on who gets the initiation they want, how the fight starts.
Dum dum. Yeah, I agree though. It does feel very tense, and especially for two rather aggressive feeling lineups. I'm kind of expecting Yoku to make some sort of a hook shot in, but he's just so far behind.
Witch Doctor is actually halfway to Agnum Scepter. In some respects, I feel like, I don't know, they did something very interesting when they changed Witch Doctor Ags recently. Like, the damage is all still there. When you buy Ags, it only gives you bounces. And I don't know if... I feel like it makes it less worth going for Ags than Witch Doctor. Like, I kind of like the idea of seeing Horstaff, Glimmer Cape, Aetherlane, Snayagat.
Yeah, there's just so many of those items now, like all these mid-game support items. They seem so valuable that it's much harder to make those decisions.
It's just like, right now if you buy Ags on Witch Doctor, they definitely will make sure one hero is like on disable your ulti duty. Whereas if you don't buy Ags, there's actually a decision for the enemy team. It makes it harder for them. Because your ulti's only hitting one thing at a time, and like, they might, they want to deal with you, but they gotta deal with other things. You buy the Ags, you've now painted a target on yourself.
Well, we're coming up to that point here. We're gonna throw the call down. Oh, and again, we're spotted, so we run. Yeah, Radiant snagged up a boar here. Thank you, Rubik. Oh, and oh no! Wait, what? I'm so confused. Alright, why was that? Alright, it was the Helm Dominator. Man, I was confused for a second there. I was like, they have a Rubik? Like, where's this boar coming from? This makes so much more sense. And then the counter Helm the Dominator back from the gyrocopter. Okay, guys,
so
it's the other way you steal bear.
Finally, one team is actually attacking Roshan, and I think it's because Jara used cooldown, but cooldown is a really short cooldown. And I think that Lion Conspiracy can get there with the cooldown before Rush is down. And now they have to fight. I don't think he just retreats, because otherwise they steal the Rush from me. Rush is really low. Someone's gonna have to fight this.
Are you suggesting that eventually these teams will have to actually engage in a team fight?
Yep,
nonsense.
I think because the Necros have been summoned, the pressure's actually on Lion Conspiracy now. And it's very clever of Elements to realize that they can pull out and like force Lion Conspiracy to be the ones in the decision-making position. Lion Conspiracy decide, okay, well, let's not waste the Necros, let's go for a tower. And Elements are actually going straight back into Rush.
Radiant's middle tower has fallen.
Like, nobody wants to be the team that's in a rush when
clowning.
the other team initiates, but someone has to be.
Tower is under attack.
Come on, guys. Alright, they're gonna steal the boar back. And swap inside. It's a turncoat here. Illidan stunned up. They're going to look to close out this core event, but False Promise can keep up back in general, trying to piss off Roshan while everyone else is fighting outside the pit. Jealousy looks like he's going to make it away alive. False Promise finally goes off. They'll lose the Vengeful Spirit. Dragon Slave hits on 3, but they've got the Aegis here. BKB as well. And trying to get this. Could be a big stun here, but Screen can't quite get it. And Baby Knight looks like he'll be okay. But
Beastmaster died without getting more off, and his Necros weren't ready because they had used them before. So I think if he could roar and if he did have Necros, the fight goes maybe a lot better for Lano Conspiracy, and they'll probably like comfort themselves with that knowledge that like it was 2 for 2. They got the rush, they got the Aegis, but a big part of our fighting plan didn't actually happen.
all right, well. We'll take another peeky peek here. Blade Mail, now moving into that 4 staff eventually here for Yoku. It is going to be the BKB for Illidan. Nothing too shocking. How close is he after that? Pretty close. 1,000 gold away from that Aghanim set that he talked about, and then indeed that is when the committal, such as that roar, are actually going to have to come out.
Do you have like a aeroplane landing near you?
Yeah, pretty much.
That's what it sounds like.
There may have been some spontaneous construction upon my household today.
Sounds a bit like an airplane. But it comes and goes, I don't hear it all the time.
It's okay, I'm saving stream from the majority of it.
Okay. Well, BKB...
Not so much Dota TV though. I mean, I'm doing my best.
BKB's now up on Gyrocopter, it's another big item timing. It's so interesting the way these teams kind of like each time they present a new item and then the other team like it's like, okay, your move. Okay, fine, we've got this. Okay, your move, and dance around each other. Nobody willing to really like truly force the action by, you know, diving, overextending, anything like that.
The real question is, how many, you know, arcanes can you buy in a single game here? These energy boosters, man. Like, he's got another point booster now on top of the Bloodstone. So I assume this will be just the Octarine core.
It could be
Not
the
much
Ags
else.
though. It could be the Ags.
Oh yeah, that's true. That is, I am being a fool.
But I do like the narrative in which he just keeps buying energy boosters. But it looks like actually the Aegis is enough, and they're gonna actually force a push. So for the first time in the game, there's one team actually forcing something to happen. And they're pulling back a bit, but I don't imagine they'd completely leave. And they'll be happy that they got the entire team to come. But I feel like the fact that they grouped up themselves meant that they're willing to deal with the entire enemy team. The chances are they just look for a swap initiation.
Yeah, and there's 2 minutes left in those Aegis though, so they've got time to play with.
Who do you think they actually want to swap in? What's the ideal swap?
I don't know. Do they have the burst to bring down Jealousy? Seems unlikely with that BKB. Like, if theoretically, I guess if you got it perfectly, that would be the target, but it's going to be rather difficult. So maybe just get someone with a lot of these disables. I mean, obviously Baby Knight would probably be like the big one. Even if he denies himself, it still seems worth it.
Well, that was Rubik very nearly got caught. Thanks away just on time. I also think if they initiate with the swap and the hook at the same time on separate targets, that makes it very difficult for Land Conspiracy to fight. Because they don't want to be having multiple fights. Cooldown is used, 30 seconds left on it. Still a little bit of time on Aegis, so we might see a more aggressive move with this wave.
Yeah, the timing, you know, it's going to be about another minute here. So time to make him, time for General to go soak up a little bit of damage here. And looks like that's exactly what he's trying to do. So here comes the lift. They're going to get the Aegis. They throw him back. They don't even want him inside the base. Just get rid of this guy.
Yeah, considering going for another kill, but without the cooldown already, I think it's the right choice not to. And again, the dynamic prevails for this game, where it's like both teams trying to be as careful as possible. And can you blame them, right? This is a qualifier for Shanghai Major. The stakes couldn't be higher unless they were at the Major itself.
Yeah, and as we know, every single game counts exactly the same. It's all 1 point. So get everyone that you can.
Is this the first game either of these teams have played in the tournaments? I think it is.
Yeah, I believe so. At least I haven't seen him. I guess I can check. Hold on. Yep. First game for both teams.
Yeah, so just getting up to, I wouldn't say a slow start, just more like a careful start. I want to start on a win, keep the ball rolling.
Not gonna lie, after casting open qualifiers for the past like 4 days, it feels like another drawn out. Like everyone, you can imagine this being cautious. Like best of 1 eliminations with top teams just willing to take out every single piece of possibility of losing. Some of those were pretty drawn out too.
Yeah. I saw a couple of stomps. There was that one. Were you watching Veggie last night? There was that one game they lost, the first game against Unknown, which was like 15 minutes.
No, I missed that one. Didn't see the Veggie boys in
just
action.
Like, just dazzling about it. It was like, yeah, they tried to fight and then things got healed and then they lost really quickly.
Well, another smoke up here. Elements, they're trying to get aggressive. They're trying to make some stuff happen, trying to please the fans, the viewers. Typical Illidan Dota style. But they won't be so lucky. The Dire, they've holed themselves up in the base, maybe thinking about a smoke of their own.
That's actually... King R's going for a Lotus Orb, and I
saw that.
I finally decided that's the item. I was asking them, like, what's the item, what's the biggest timing of the game? If you look at the lineup of Land of Conspiracy, there's a very strong argument to be made for Lotus Orb being the game-changing item.
Yeah. Laguna Blade, Roar, obviously. 2 big ones, just in general up front.
If Rubik ults you and you have Lotus Orb on you, does it, like... give him...
No, doesn't do anything.
that would be pretty cool. You just got another skill.
You just gain a spell.
Boom, there it goes.
Yeah, no, the dream. And so coming high ground, of course the TP scroll, it is there. And there is enough gold here if he wants to buy a Blink Dagger. I don't know I think he might just go bots. But no, he's going Blink.
Jackpot.
I do feel like you'd want to use the Necro a bit more as Beastmaster. I mean, the item does kind of scale, but at the same time, a lot of the value you get from it is usually right after you buy it. You get a bunch of objectives, and that's certainly not happened. I mean, they've maintained the golden XP lead that they've had for quite a long time, but it's not a very big one. And the game's kind of just both teams sitting back, theory crafting, happy to wait. They clearly both have their own plan for how they take the late game.
No?
Witch Doctor's finished Ags, but I mean, I just think Land of Conspiracy, it's on them if Witch Doctor gets a big Ags ulti off in a fight, because they have so many ways to disable it.
Seems like we're on the waiting game. I don't know. I'm surprised, honestly. Like, how are London Conspiracy? Like, I know they were only up 2,000. I feel like Element should be further ahead at this point, don't you? In terms of the gold, like obviously the experience, they've just been so much more spread out. But like, how is the gold lead not diminishing faster for London Conspiracy? Considering they've been I feel like they've been in this base for like 5 minutes now.
Because these kind of plays, look at this Rubik, just split pushing Rubik, making space in the map. These kind of small plays, I think. Also the fact that elements have maybe been grouped up more than Land of Conspiracy, so even though they're getting the objectives, they're not spreading out, so they're actually trying to get a rush again. This time there's a smoke and there's gonna be a big cooldown.
Finally some aggression, can we go? Are we gonna get a team fight for once in our lives? The Roar, they're looking for blinking in, going on the Oracle, the big target, don't want that false promise, but there comes the Requiem as well. Kevin taking a ton of damage, and the Rage finishes him off very quickly. Soul now going down the right click, plus the Oracle, gonna help out Baby Knight, now working his way onto the screen, gonna get false promise up and save. While they work on Jellypy and his PKP stun, coming over from Beaver, stolen, blinks to dodge. Now after Jellypy, on the backline, they're also chasing down Baby Knight. He looks to be okay, though, he'll TP out. And Beaver, is he thinking about making plays? He's got the blink, he's got the Force Staff, he's got an empty slot. But he apparently does not have the stones. So he'll give it up.
And the big cooldown that I called wasn't actually that big, and I think that's very significant in why Land of Conspiracy fall behind again at the rush pit. It's really well played by Elements, actually, the way they positioned. Shadowfiend managed to dodge the cooldown, which I think is pretty incredible, standing in like the corner of the pit. So it only hit Vengeful Spirit, so you could just BKB and then go into the fight. The other heroes were standing out. I think that's It's like the only big AoE spell that Land of Conspiracy have in terms of like crowd control, starting the fights, initiating, and didn't actually give that much value at all.
And the other issue was you had this blink and roar onto King R, and well, that's a not a bad idea if you really have enough burst to bring down your big target. Like, but I feel like they needed just more damage within the range of the actual roar to maybe actually just kill the Oracle as the initial target, because he's still gonna do so much work for the rest of the fight. And there we go, another roar thrown out. Gonna blink in here from Beaver, general stunned up. He's got the BKB though, gonna pop it, and still Aegis though, so we won't have it when he pops up there. We'll get the Bane, nice swap back onto Jealousy. This may force out his own buyback, depending on how much more they can get here. Another false promise, more heals being thrown out.
Yeah, he's got a buyback.
What a hero, honestly. Oracle, please. Beaver, he blinks back once more. General dropping low, looking to lose his Aegis. Hookshot does hit something. I think it was that creep. And two-man stop.
This is a very brave decision not to buy back a Gyrocopter. If they lose some more heroes here, they're really gonna regret it.
What if they lose the... do you just give a full wave?
Yeah, they're fine with giving the racks, I think, but if more of their heroes die, they'll definitely regret not buying back.
Alright, well.
Works out. I think it's worth giving away the lane rather than Gyro buying back, because their plan going late really is Gyro. Gyro needs that big damage item willing to contest the next fight.
And now look how bad they want to force this buyback. And you just can't even do it at this point for your own posterity's sake. More force stat plays over here on the side. This is the deny from Baby Knight. Now working on this tower. 6 more seconds of Gyrocopter and a full 20 seconds despite the Bloodstone for the Lina.
But now Lina doesn't want to buy back, especially because she has such a fast respawn.
Oh man, this hurts. Well, they'll finally blink forward. They'll get the roar here. Jealousy ready to get back in the action. Put down the rocket. And the cogs will be able to push them back. Oh, nice force set from Beaver. Maybe blinking forward, gonna get screened. However, they can't spot Yoku in the trees. And so, Lotus Orb now done, but so you can see the full rack's taken, the mid tower taken as well, and they get out with nothing but a Witch Doctor loss. So, graphs are going to be heavily jumping in the favor of Elements already. We can see up 7k. Might continue to progress here. And, well, the experience actually falls back a little bit towards LC after that last kill.
And False Promise just takes off Raw. Does it take off Bean's Grip as well?
Yeah, it takes off everything. Oh wait, Fiend's Grip? Yeah. It takes off Lasso.
I mean, Abaddon Shield takes off Fiend, yeah, so I think it should.
Radiant's middle tower.
Well, Land of Conspiracy, I think it's intelligence of them to like recognize they don't get a lot of windows anymore in this game, so when they have a window they should use it, and they get the most out of it, they do kill a tower. It's like, does Gyrocopter even start considering going Rapier here? Because it's... I do feel like if he buys the wrong item, they lose another fight, and they just lose the game. On the one hand, he might be considering saving buyback to win the fight that way. On the other hand, he could be considering buying a really big item to win the fight just with his first black. Those are kind of the two choices he's going for. I don't really like the buyback routes. Because I feel like if you're going to try and win fights buying back, then you should buy back early on when your axes aren't dying anyway. Or when your axes are dying, because you've already given up so much. But it looks like that's his plan here. He's not buying anything, and he's just going to try and use the buyback to help win the fight.
Alright, well, another Sacrificial Hawk. Here's that call down. Not so much on this one. Blink, lift. BKB's both available. They'll use Illidan's. And hookshot in from Yoku. And not deciding what he wants to do. Blade Mill, pushed back. Roar. Now popped down to Yoku. A very quick Lotus Orb. That was like mid-air Roar Lotus. Nicely played by King R. Spelled the Beastmaster's own death, so they'll move on to the melee racks, and they just can't do anything. They're just standing in the back. Oh, Yoku's taunting. Nice.
I honestly think it goes like this Gyrocopter needed to buy another item. He's not threatening enough here, and what's the plan to get value out of his buyback? Like, is he just gonna run at them and rock barrage?
They got the kill. Maybe this will be Rapier Gaming. Might be the only chance here. If they manage to live through this fight and not lose Megas. As they're going to lose their Lina now. Baby Knight, he has his buyback. He's going to pop his as well. Jealousy still haven't used his. Kefka, force back. Roar, still down. Now screen. Okay, looks like they won't lose the racks here. So we're starting to back away these buybacks. We'll get something done here. Another stop from King R, but not far enough away here with that Aether Lens LSA.
She did goon herself, but
yeah,
doesn't count for that much at that stage. But it's Lina and Beastmaster both fought back. Now there's even more pressure on Gyrocopter to try to save buyback goal, and looks like he's actually buying a butterfly. I think he might just barely be able to afford the full butterfly and buyback. Yeah, he's pretty close to buyback, so
That's pretty
400
impressive.
gold on both, so that's really good. But now it's even more pressure on the Gyrocopter to... It's not just about having buyback, right? If you're trying to hold the base and buyback part of your plan, you need to get value out of it. Like, often the mentality is like to think as if you don't have buyback. So, I need to fight, but I need to make sure I don't die. If your plan to win the fight is to use buyback, a lot of the time you actually want to make sure that they focus you first. Use a lot of things on you and you're going to buy back anyway. And so there's... the psychology there is kind of tricky, because you're second guessing yourself, because you're used to thinking, really important I don't die, I'm the carry.
Right. Well, I guess the butterfly, it's a good mix-up item here. A little bit of health, a little bit of damage. Do you think... I mean, I feel like they're desperate enough that, honestly, I wouldn't fault him if he went Rapier. Like, yeah, maybe it's going to be nearly impossible, but, I mean, is it going to be possible with a butterfly?
Well, I mean, nobody has MKB, nobody has 8 cells or anything, so actually the evasion will do a lot of work. The issue I just see is that he's not even enough damage yet, so it's... Like, Butterfly's great if he has an MKB or Rapier or something on top of it. On its own, I still feel like it's too easy for elements to just kind of ignore him. Focus other people first. They don't have to go for the Gyrocopter straight away. Definitely if he buys a Rapier, then suddenly it's like you must neutralize him or he will win the fight.
That's one way to ensure you'll get to use your buyback, just get a Rapier. Alright, well. Screen and his squad moving through the jungle.
Regeneration.
Both teams back a little bit to this dancing around the map. Shockingly, this lane is pushed in extremely deep here. But they'll come back and start pushing it up. And
it's gonna be a rush.
Big?
It's gonna be a rush again soon, and like with two sides of Rax, I just feel like it's inevitable at this point. Like, what do Liner Conspiracy do to contest the rush? It's a similar situation to when the Raxes are being pushed. I feel like they need to make some kind of move. Like, the conservative player to just wait and wait and wait, only put you further behind. And there's nothing stopping elements waiting until rush spawns.
Well, here's the smoke up play. The line is drawn up top, no tower.
They don't want to wait, I guess.
Maybe they're hoping they're going to start heading towards Roshan. If they had a ward, you would understand a bit more. They'll put one up there, but immediately spotted by the sentries, and well, they'll just hop in the range barracks. Can we swap back in the base? The roar comes out. Laguna Blade and the Fiend's Grip now used up on Illidan. There goes the Requiem from General, though. The supports in the back lines of the Dire, they're dropping pretty low. Also comes out. They're trying to chase down Jelly. He's kind of a big hill here. We'll see if Yoko can make the plays. Nope, they're gonna let him be. But now, only 2 heroes left. They have successfully defended. Thanks to just how deep everyone else seemed to have gone. Beaver, he does have the Requiem here. He's got the Force Staff too. You know he wants to make some sort of play, but there's going to be a hook shot down by Yoku. I think they tried to make the play to stop it, but General nightmared up. They're going to have the Requiem. He's going to go for it. Safety your own medicine. Yep.
It's like, from a caster perspective, it's a totally ridiculous play. Like, I don't know what they're thinking. Like, maybe elements are thinking they're going to rush, or they won't all be standing exactly at that. Like, literally the whole Land Conspiracy was waiting there. So they ran into fog up high ground. It's like the worst situation of like forcing high ground and giving them positional advantage. And there's maybe a chance Land Conspiracy managed to snag the rush now themselves.
Well, they'll have 14 more seconds to go here. Yeah, I don't really know, and it was a pretty chaotic fight. Obviously, it seemed like they were in there pretty deep, and losing Illidan just so quickly.
And they used a lot on the Gyro as well. The Witch Doctor also only attacked Gyro. The Shadow Fiend was like chasing the Gyro and couldn't actually lock him down.
Well, they will see the Roshan now. Beastmaster, of course, pretty nice for keeping an eye on these kind of things.
You know, if elements come to rush now and lose another fight, it's like, it's such a huge throw. 2 fights in a row, they're behind them. I mean, if they win the fight,
this is gonna be close. I think we might have ourselves a hookshot play here. But look at the summons. They're using the illusions. They're using the boar. They're using another bird. Trying everything to pick this hawk out of the way. or rather this hook shot. Not going to go in. They're going to give it the gyrocopter, aka Rapier Gaming.
That's Aegis and Cheese, and that's Elements have got to be kicking themselves because if they didn't make that play sneaking into the top, like they definitely get rushed for free.
No, it was theirs for sure.
So suddenly the game is a lot more complicated for them. They still have an advantage because they've racked two sides and they could wait out the Aegis. To be honest, it's still difficult for Planet Conspiracy to get out of their base without Elements finding out that that's what they're doing. But Elements look. They looked a bit impatient to me, and if they get impatient again, they could suddenly be losing this game.
They do have a lot of gold still stacked up here on the Radiant, though. One thing that's good, they do have, you know, all kinds of buyback. No one in the danger zone of not being able to buy back. Should something disastrous happen, so they can be, you know, a little bit still out there on the map. It's actually gonna be the bo2 Travels next for Jelpy. I feel like he's just skirting around this Rapier. Like honestly, do you really think they can hold out for another fight? I suppose if we take a look at the net worth graph, it has come down basically back to 0. So as long as you're okay with pushing your waves out there, then Rapier Gaming is not required. But
the XP graph actually favors LC quite a lot.
Yeah.
And I think that the bo2 Travel is more like he needs it because he wants to be able to leave the base. He wants to be able to like push out lanes or go for fights or something. And it's super risky at this point. Like, think about the play that Elements made there, running into the enemy base. Imagine that's happening now. And then, like, Gyrocopter can't get back because he just doesn't have a TP scroll. Then they'd suddenly just lose their axes. So I think he does need the travels, regardless of, like, what he's actually moving towards. But I don't know, the Rapier situation has changed a bit for me. I do think that Elements can't be nearly as confident as they have been so far after what's happened.
I totally agree with you. Just you can't be feeling it after that. You're gonna be like second guessing your decisions. It was a really weird play from our perspective, but maybe to them, like now they're questioning like what they thought LC was like even aiming for. I think they were thinking like, okay, they're gonna be like in Roshan right now. You know what I mean? And then they're gonna hop up and get megas.
Yeah, or at least they'll be split across their base, and so when we go up the ramp, we can initiate. But they went up the ramp and like almost immediately got initiated on. It was almost as if it was scripted, like Planet Conspiracy expected that kind of play.
So what you're saying is the Shanghai qualifiers are scripted? This is like wrestling? Is that what I'm to understand?
Exactly. We just need to figure out who's John Cena. It's probably the Beastmaster, isn't it?
It's definitely the Beastmaster. Is that even a question? He's like, one of his cosmetics is a flying American eagle. Like, doesn't he have this one that equipped too?
Yeah, I think so.
No.
No.
No, he's just a normal.
Rubik got Aghanim Scepter. There's a lot of value in that. And I want to come back to a point that I come back to a lot when we see these kind of turnarounds in late game situation. One thing that distinguishes these teams is that there's no 4-staffs or Glimmer Capes. No, wait, there's 1 4-staff and 0 Glimmer Capes on the Radiant side. And the Dark side's got a Glimmer and 2 Forces. So those 2 items, like how many you have, often affects like your ability to control the fights, sort of indirectly from a support position. And if you consider the Clockwork's almost always using Force on himself, just hooking in, forcing out. There aren't really, those support elements are lacking. Even the Vengeful Spirit, which could be used defensively, is swapping aggressively almost always. So it's all on the Oracle when it comes to elements. When it comes to like making a defensive play in the fight, the Oracle has to do it all on his own. And I think that does put pressure on him, whereas Planet Conspiracy, there's a lot of options for people to save each other.
Well, might be having our big battle here. Again, all buybacks here though, so there's going to be the initial lift here onto Illidan. They might try bursting down again, but you know they want this Oracle. Illidan, not done quite as fast. There's that Death Ward, and they can't seem to find him in the background. Now Delphi will head towards him, but almost gets out the full duration. Left to put the Fiend's Grip now on top. Baby Knight, stun up. That's actually managed to get a stolen one. Supposedly impossible. They will stun him up though, so it will get cancelled. Only a couple bounces flying out. Back up from the grave is Jellyfy. And the cheese now being eaten there. Looks like it was Baby Knight chomping down there. Disarm on the Gyrocopter top of love. There's the stolen Requiem once more blinking forward. And Beaver with the Aghanim's, it actually heals him a little bit of health. He can walk back into the fight because of it. Unafraid of General Yoko on the sidelines gets another hook here. This Aeg's hang off. Can't quite get the push back there. Jellyfy runs right into him. And Magic Community comes out just a little bit too late there. And General trying to get, oh, actually those MKB procs, they do fly through. Buyback still available here on the Gyrocopter.
That's
And-
I mean, I was just talking about how one advantage Lana Conspiracy have is that they've got all those like repositioning saving tools. The elements actually have that if you're gonna initiate on them. That's the first fight we've had, except for the one which was like right there at the top base before,
Dyer's
where Lana Conspiracy were like running around the map looking for a fight, and elements just had to fight into them, and that allowed them to use their spells more strategically, more defensively, and the fight ends up being okay for them. Like, I mean, they killed Gyrocopter twice. And Gyrocopter now back in that same position where it's safe for buyback versus go for your next item. It's gonna be a trade-off.
I have to say, when I was reading the patch notes and I was reading half these Agnum Scepter's upgrades, the same thing kept happening in my mind. All this is an Alchemist buff and a Rubik buff. And it's pretty comical to see the Requiem actually end up with the soul return and getting a little bit of HP back. Kind of clowny.
Yeah, you'll never see it on a Shadow Fiend. The only time you'll see it is on a Rubik.
Hey, don't you forget about Alchemist handing it over, dude. Come on now.
But he's
never
gonna
know.
pick Alchemist Shadow Fiend. That's like, I don't know.
You don't run Venge Alch support anymore? You know, the duo? Some
Actually,
medallions, some solar crests?
if I ran him Alch in a pub, then I'm playing support Alch, but I mean, in competitive, we don't really see that.
Alright, well. Again, we're back kind of into this little bit of a stalemate, kind of same funk here. Only but oh, now who's got the construction noises, Yeah, that's right, I see. Yogu looking good. And a picture at Requiem here. Can we drop down this Ring of Aquila?
All of the main heroes have buyback still.
Yeah.
Vengeful Spirit Academy is actually really good. It's on the way now. It's really good. And I mean, the main thing is definitely not the newest thing that you respawn. The main thing is you have a really short cooldown, 10 seconds, and you can swap creeps, which sometimes actually matters.
There he goes.
Like if you want to
Yeah, I
save
suppose it
someone,
helps to escape. Yeah.
yeah, if you want to escape, or also like if you want to join the fights by swapping yourself in, but you don't want to like swap someone out. There's a few ways you can do it.
Well, there's the hookshot in the back, coming from the Rubik, looking for all these big spell seals. They're going to put in that roar once again on top of King Ara, but there's no follow-up. Once one, Beast get committed already to General. They've already lost the Rubik, now they've lost the Bane, the Rubik, and the Beastmaster. Jellyby looks like he's next in line here, trying to heal Satanic as many reckless as he can. He does bring down Illidan, but it's just too much from General. He'll buy back, but once again, talking about there's the Agnum Scepter. Still living from Illidan.
It's chilly.
Swap in 4 seconds. He might even be able to get one off here. Come on, destroy that rocket. Barely taking any damage. Jellyby coming in trying to clean up this illusion, but there's the stun. No respect shown to the illusion. Swapping him right
That's
in.
good.
Just disarmed. Beat the hell. And Baby Knight next on the list here. They've got the stun. Wow, that range though.
I really do feel like the Lana Conspiracy need more damage in this game. Against the Shadow Fiend with Butterfly and Satanic, against the Witch Doctor heal, the Oracle's heal. Like, I just think the Gyrocopter had, like, you can sort of see the reasoning for each of the items he bought, but at the end of the game, what's lacking is his team doesn't have enough damage. And I do think if he had an MKB or if he had a Rapier, they have a much higher chance of winning those fights.
Alright, well, that'll be the end of that one. And we'll see if they can bring out a little bit more damage coming to the next game. And that's only the